Drama Mezzo. I started this Sing Talk thing on Google Plus because I wanted to have a little bit more of what I do and what singing is about online. So I'm going to start just by a little bit about myself, a little bit about some singers I do like, and we'll talk a little bit about that, and maybe a bonus or something for being so nice as to stay with me through this entire call. It will be short because the format is meant to be interactive. And so today I don't have anybody to interact with, so I'm going to just go on the fly here. So I'm Monifa Harris, and I am a mezzo-soprano, and I sing opera, so that's where my handle comes from. I'm a dramatic mezzo-soprano, so that's where I get the name The Drama Mezzo, because that's what I do. And I started singing when I went to college, actually. So I was a very quiet child until I started singing. I wasn't talking much to anybody, much less singing to anybody. So it took me a really long time to find my voice and a really long time to learn about it. And having a large voice, it took a long time for it to do things that were useful for me. So I always tell people that it's never too late to start, number one. And it's also never impossible. A lot of people think that, oh, I just can't sing and it just won't happen, and that's not true. So my favorite, okay, I can't really say a favorite singer because I like 8,000 singers. So, but I will mention two in this broadcast, and we'll just continue to add more on later so that we can cover them all eventually. So first one I'll say is India Arie. So I've loved India Arie since she first came out. I love mezzo voices because I happen to be a mezzo, and India Arie is a mezzo, whether you know it or not, which is basically a female voice that has more low notes than high notes. We'll say it that way. And that doesn't mean they can't sing high, because I can sing high. I can sing consistently up to C, high C. And like for audibly, like somebody would like to listen to it, I can sing up to E past high C, and I have sung up to F past high C, which a lot of people are pretty surprised to hear because I have a really dark voice. So it doesn't really matter what kind of voice you are, it's what you can do with it, really. And the more you know about it, the more you can do. So she is I love like soul, neo-soul. I'll mention the other singers later. And then I had like a surprise person. So I want to make sure I get the name right. So I'm going to look this up, okay? So give me 1 second. All right. Oh, that's not the right app. So I'm pulling up my Spotify. I don't know if I'm supposed to like app place during these calls, but nobody cares, right? So I'm gonna pull up my Spotify. I know his first name is Pablo. I'm pretty sure it's Pablo. So
What am I doing wrong?
I'm online now. Yes, Pablo Albarrán. So I'll put this in my notes later when I post on the YouTube. I'm literally live broadcasting right now. So that's my husband, and he likes to interrupt me. So
that's what kings do.
Yes, well, annoying kings, right? All right, so Pablo Albarrán. So one of my favorites is the Tonto, which is on there. Dude, he's also a little cute. He has a heavenly voice. You have to listen to this guy. You know what like real singing is, like you might not, but like this is real singing, and this guy has a gorgeous voice, and it can do pretty much anything he wants it to. That's what we want from our voices, and that's why most people study voice, is so that they can do anything they can imagine with their voice. So those are my favorite singers. We'll talk a little about um, like why they're my favorite singers, right? So the voice quality, which I mean, everybody has a voice that they're born with. It's born out of our bodies, right? It's the only instrument that is dependent upon your literal physicality like, completely, right? So if you're tired, if you're stressed out, if you're tense, if you're happy, if you're sad, it's reflected in your voice. And you can tell that just by those few sentences that I spoke, right? Because I'm saying sad, if I'm saying happy, right? So those things are part of singing. You know, we sing as a communication. And so our voice and our body communicates what we want to communicate. So that's one of the beginning things of learning about voice and how it works is that it's meant to communicate, right? It's not meant to start singing, right? It's meant to communicate and something highly emotional, and that's where their music comes in, right? So India.Arie, like she has a glorious quality to her voice, and it's dark and yummy, but it's also very fluid and expressive. And so I love the way she can just make the simplest phrases sound unique and beautiful. Pablo, I mean, he has the most luxurious lyric voice. We call lyric in opera speak, right? Which means that it's like water, right? It just flows out, and like it's just so the texture is pretty light, but at the same time it's warm, and it's so obviously I like warm voices, right? That's some of my favorite stuff. Um, and just again the expression is what he wants from the sounds. And I am not he's I'm assuming Spanish speaker and singer. What songs are in Spanish, but and I don't speak fluent Spanish. I grew up in Florida, so I know some words, right? But I don't speak fluently. But it doesn't matter. His songs speak to me very much because they are just so well done and they're beautiful. So, what I want to offer you for sitting with me for these few minutes, I teach voice lessons online. I also teach at the Durham Arts Council here in North Carolina. But I want to offer for my online lessons a trial lesson. So if you've waited through the whole thing for a trial lesson, in order to get this, now my trial lessons are $60. I mean, my regular lessons are $60 an hour. I do have packages, but one lesson is $60 an hour. But since you're here, what you can do is you can email me directly, which is singingasapractice.com. Well, sorry, at gmail.com. So singingasapractice@gmail.com. If you email me directly, I'll send you a link that you can get a trial lesson for $20. That's huge, right? So there's one more thing I wanted to do. Oh, you can go to the website. So that's the Singing as a Practice .wordpress.com, and you can see what else I offer there. So that's about it. So it's nice to meet you. Thank you for hanging out with me. And if you have more questions, I'm planning to do these weekly about this time. So if you have questions, store them up for me or just send them during the week. Even if you're not going to make it, these are going to be posted to YouTube eventually, so you'll get your answer eventually. So that's it. Send me a question. Get to know me. We'll talk more later. Have a good weekend. Bye.